Hey there, so today we have another review, and this is a really fun one. This is Postcard Pils from Green Bench out of St. Pete in Florida. And so, local Florida, I mean, they're probably only, well, let's say less than 2 hours from me. And they actually got Best in Beer for Craft Beer and Brewing. So Craft Beer and Brewing is one of the magazines I subscribe to. I highly recommend it if you want to geek out about beer. Definitely teaches a lot, but they do Best Beers of 2021, and one of the beers is Green Bench Postcard Pils. This came super fresh. What? Something was messed up. They mixed around those 6-packs. Oh, what a shame. This is about, leading on almost 6 months old. I think it's a Pilsner, but not relying too much on the hops. So I picked up a 6-pack. Some of them were like 3 weeks fresh. This is the last one of the 6-pack. They tasted generally great to me, so hopefully this one's not a stinky can. You guys can skip ahead if you want to just do the review, but I'm gonna like pick through this beer because, like, man, like, you know, one of the cool things I would love to do, you know, people ask like, oh, what's a dream gig? Be one of these, like, you know, people in the industry that gets to, or editors or writers that just gets to like try some of the great beers in the country. And I got the dog running around there back there, but getting to try some of the great beers out here. I obviously only have so much distribution. Granted, it's been great in Central Florida, getting a lot of the Northeast stuff and a good amount of distribution, but really cool to see a local Florida brewery, accessible beer for me. 6-pack was something like $10, $11. That's really fantastic. And yeah, so what is this? It's Postcard Pils. This is an American Pilsner. So it comes in a really nice ABV, sitting at 4.7. They even have a recipe right here. So recipe, if you're a home brewer, it's mostly Darwin, but they have a little bit of 6-row malt in there, American inspired, the 6-row that's used in macrobreweries now and they've been using for like a century now, and some flake corn. So going even more traditional, or I guess more towards, I mean, macrobreweries don't use flake corn, but going more inspired to, maybe pre-prohibition, yeah. And it's got a little bit of Mount Hood. They do all the processes now because they used to not decoct this. Now it's decocted. Decoction is a process where you pull some of the mash, boil it, put it back. And so it generally offers, arguably, more complexity and flavor out of your Pilsner. And they do full on, like, I mean, we're talking about full page here, a little bit here. So it's a lot of writing about this specific beer. And pretty exciting. They've done this for 2 years now, and that's really cool. So they also ferment it a little warmer at 55 degrees. So this is one of their warmer lagers. So they're expecting to pull a little bit more kind of yeast character out of their Augustina. So Augustina is a familiar yeast strain that, I mean, obviously Augustina uses it, but a lot of American breweries are using Augustina yeast strain. So the beer comes in, it's not completely clear actually. All right, yeah, it has a light haze to it. A little bit, yeah, not even chill haze. This is just a little bit of haze to it. It comes in a beautiful kind of straw color, wonderful eggshell white head, really pretty. I mean, 6 months in, it smells really great, especially considering it's sitting on the warm shelf. Just like really nice kind of Pilsner malt character. It smells a little sweet too, so I feel like there's that corn, even though it's like a small percentage. Like even the batch here, they say 7.3 pounds of Pilsner, and then you're only doing 8 ounces, 6 or 8 ounces of flake corn. So what you're talking about, I think percentage wise, that's like less than 10 or something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's a whole article. So I mean, I can give you the cliff notes, but like, it's really nice. I mean, it's just got the really clean fermentation character. I mean, I don't know if I get the estery quality that they're going for, but it does have this like really just light kind of like Frito corny kind of like flavor to it. I can get that again. Full blind, who would have guessed it? Maybe I'm smelling because I know it's in there. A little bit of floral hopping too. They're using what, Mount Hood, so American hopping instead of and what? Yeah, I mean, they give it flavor notes right here. Herbal floral hops with the citrus zestiness. Yeah, I see that. Flavors integrated, even keel of spicy herbal bitterness, a delicate malt, wind up harmoniously bittersweet. That's just really tasty Pilsner. And their goal is to sort of do, I mean, most of this recipe is just straight up German, but they're pulling a little bit of inspiration from America with the ingredients. And so for me, it has a firm bitterness like German Pils. Full blind, this is definitely German Pils, but it's what makes it American, so like, I guess, the goal. And the aromatic of that kind of like little bit of corn is quite nice, but on the palate, it is just noticeably dry, almost like bracingly bitter for a 4.7 Pilsner. Like it shows that it's got a good amount of hopping to it. They actually do 60-minute, 15-minute, and then whirlpool too. So not super traditional in the sense of the hop editions. Generally, you just have boil editions or German Pils. I mean, at 4.7, that's just insane, right? We're sitting in between Bud Light and Budweiser 4.2 to 5, and we're just so much impact of flavor. It's not as deeply malty as I would say some of the familiar like world-class Pilsners that I had. What's considered world-class? What is it? I mean, obviously Bierstadt and Suarez and I've had some really good ones this year, and this was not all the way there. I mean, not in a bad way. It's just doesn't have that like malt tea note to me, but in the other way, it makes a beer quite nice and familiar. It's familiar kind of German style Pilsner, specifically from Germany. The aromatic's quite nice because it does have this little bit of sweetness. It's like, again, the really fun place you can play with Pilsner and a lot of light golden beers is the impression of sweetness without having it, right? So you're just offering this kind of aromatic and the flavor of this kind of like sweetness without making the beer actually sweet. I mean, the beer finishes at what? Yeah, 10:08, so super dry. I think it's 10:08 is not that dry, but not dry, but that's very dry. That's basically almost 10:01. Yeah, that's super dry. So, or not 10:01, 10:1. Really nice, kind of pretty Pilsner. It's really cool to just have, again, an American or a local-ish kind of beer in the top-rated beers of the year from them. And yeah, I mean, listen to the podcast and you can find out what beers they picked, especially between the editors and between the staff in general, and then especially the really cool writers that are the cool people that picked to do these picks of the best beers of the year, including Alex Kidd of Malt Couture and Don't Drink Beers, Kate Bernat, Stan Hieronymus. So you really see what they really enjoyed this year, especially during COVID and all that fun stuff. So, or not fun stuff, but I mean, that's just a shelf banger, and probably is going to have me buying more of it because, I mean, this is so cheap. It's under $12. I think it's, yeah, again, I think it's like 11 or under for a six-pack of this guy. And it's local, fresh, as long as I find it fresh. Absolutely fantastic, and really sells mostly as German Pils, but has a little twist to it, and again, it's local and delicious. So, as for rating, nice kind of floral character that just glides in there quite nicely. As I drink it more, as it warms up, this impression of sweetness comes in. Really nice, just basic, kind of pretty, Pilsnery, crackery, not quite doughy, but like almost biting on a straw, kind of pale malt character or Pilsner malt character in here. Again, I don't really, as it warms up probably, there's just an impression of like corn, Fritoed, corn chippy kind of thing going on, hints of like a macro lager kind of thing, but like, again, still obviously Pilsner with the solid hopping in this one. Fantastic stuff. If you're in Florida or get distribution of Green Bench, this is a great beer. So let's go with a solid 94. That is Postcard Pils, just absolute crusher. Thank you so much for checking this one out and sitting with me while I geek out about a pretty quote unquote boring Pilsner from local brewery, but they obviously did their good amount of work showing off a full article plus a recipe and more. So pretty cool. Again, if you aren't subscribed to Craft Beer and Brewing, highly recommend it. You get the prints and everything, even online. You can read it through your phone for like $30-$40 a year. So until next time, guys, cheers. Later.